Now we'll come to part B questions, and it says a natural number k is called stable if there exist k distinct natural numbers a1, a2, ak, each ai greater than 1 such that 1 upon a1 plus 1 upon a2 plus 1 upon ak is equal to 1. So it says that show that if k is stable, then k plus 1 is also stable. Using this or otherwise, find all the stable numbers. Now we know that it cannot be true for k equals 1. So we cannot write 1 upon a1 equals to 1 when a1 is unequal to 1. So that means k equals to 1 is not stable. What about k equals 2? So we'll take k equals 2, we'll get 1 upon a1 plus 1 upon a2, and this value, it should be equal to 1. Now this again is possible only when we have both the numbers same, but then it says it is stable if there exist distinct natural numbers. So that means k equals to 2 is not stable as well. So we'll start with k equals 3. Now we know that we can write 1 as 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6. So that is, it is possible to express 1 as sum of 1 upon a1 plus 1 upon a2 plus 1 upon a3, where each of a1, a2 and a3, they are distinct and they are greater than 1. So now we'll solve this question using induction. We'll solve it for k greater than or equal to 3. Now this is our first case. So this statement is true for k equals to 3. Now we'll let it be true for n equals k. If it is true for n equals k, then we can write 1 upon a1 plus 1 upon a2 plus 1 upon ak, and this value is equal to 1. Now using this result, we have to prove that it is true for n equals k plus 1. So what we'll do is, in this we'll divide everything with 2. So we'll divide everything with 2. We'll get 1 upon 2a1, 1 upon 2a2 and 1 upon 2ak, and this is equal to 1 by 2. Now we'll add 1 by 2 both sides. Then we can simply write 1 by 2, 1 upon 2a1, 1 upon 2a2 plus 1 upon 2ak, and this is equal to 1. And now we have k plus 1 distinct numbers. So that means this statement is true for n equals k plus 1. So from induction, we can say that this statement or this condition is true for any value of k which is greater than or equal to 3. Now question number B, it says, let f be a differentiable function defined on subset A of real numbers such that this f star y is maximum of x belongs to a yx minus fx whenever the above maximum is finite. Now for the function fx equals minus log x, determine the set of points for which f star is defined and find an expression for f star y involving only y and constants. Now for this function, we are given fx as minus log x. So now we can write f star y as maximum x belongs to a, and here it will be yx, and in place of fx we'll write minus ln x, so it will be plus ln x. Now we'll differentiate it with respect to y, so it will be df star upon dy, and will be simply maximum of x belongs to a, now it is y, and then plus 1 upon x. Now domain of this function fx is x is greater than 0. So we have two separate cases. Case 1, if y is greater than or equal to 0, then this y plus 1 upon x, both of them, these values, they will be positive. So in this case, df star upon dy, it will be greater than 0. Then in that case, this f star will be strictly increasing function, and if the function is strictly increasing, then we do not have a global maximum. So we do not have any function defined for y greater than or equal to 0. Now when y is less than 0, in that case, if we'll find its critical point, we can write df star upon dy equals to 0. So from here we'll get y plus 1 upon x equals 0. So we'll get x as minus 1 upon y. So it'll be minus 1 upon y, rightmost negative, and this is positive. So it will have a local maximum at x equals minus 1 upon y. So now in this case, we can write this f star y as, now in place of x, we'll write minus 1 upon y. So it'll be minus 1 minus f minus 1 upon y. So this function is defined when y is less than 0, and it'll be f star y equals minus 1 minus f minus 1 upon y. And when y is greater than or equal to 0, this function is not defined.